Bobby also admitted,
I flew all the way here.
You did. I really do appreciate
On my daughter's
that.
first birthday.
Nah, she was getting some penis, bro. There's no way.
Racist against rappers, they all look the same to him. They used to beg him not to egg him on Halloween. He told him holler back with the suede Pumas, dollar green. Nah, I mean, heat it up till the temperature tarball. Y'all just gawk like gargoyle.
Why Bobby Altoff's podcast failed so quickly. Only thing I know about her is she did that really awkward interview with Drake. I'm not a big fan of the really soft-spoken, intentionally awkward type of interviews and stuff. I think that's kind of weird. And then she divorced her husband, and then she just people just started calling her like a pass around. Like, that was insane work. I never understood the appeal personally. I don't hate her, and I don't want her to like combust or something, but like, yeah, people were doing too much. They were trying their best to make her a celebrity, and we just did not care.
Bobby Altoff's Really Good Podcast started extremely strong, gaining millions of views with
Mark Cuban, why did he got his feet out like that,
unique
bro?
celebrity interviews. However, in just a year and a half, her viewership has basically flatlined, with almost 300,000 people agreeing I've never seen an industry plant fall off harder than she did.
Yeah, bro.
Her career began on TikTok in 2021, making dry, sarcastic content on the topic of being a mother. She'd make only 26 videos before beginning the Really Good Podcast, to which she'd adapt her dry, sarcastic style.
I think we look alike.
Yeah, I hate this.
Kind of, but not really.
A little. You're like me in a different font.
The snippet
I don't like it.
quickly racked up almost 10 million views.
That's
The
insane, dude.
style was an instant success. This entire interview is like the calmest argument in history, and I love it.
I never saw the appeal of it, bro.
The snippets from her next episode went equally viral.
The clips did really, really well on TikTok. So I was like, okay, I guess I like have something here.
But it was the episode with Funny Marco that completely changed everything.
But how did she get in contact with Funny Marco?
Because not only did the segments again pull crazy numbers, but the full episode gained over 5 million views without a single hate comment anywhere in sight. It's rare that two people I've never heard of make me laugh for an hour straight. This was special.
Okay, buddy.
This is hilarious. Marco has found the white woman version of himself. This should be a permanent duo. This is
No, bro.
just the most cross-cultural, funny, awkward humor. People loved the honest branding of new episode whenever I can get someone to agree to let me interview them, the next of which being a very important person.
My video with Marco went very
Yes,
viral.
yeah.
Like,
Correct.
very viral. Then Drake liked one of the videos I had uploaded.
See, this is what I'm talking about, bro. That's too exponential for me, to be real. Like, come on now. You went from making TikToks about being a mom to within the same year. This is all happening within the same year because she only posted 26 videos before all this happened. You went from making posts about being a mom to interviewing Drake. Like, come on now.
And he followed me.
Bobby
And even if it was like, even if it's not like a plant thing or whatever, I wouldn't want my career to explode this quickly because you don't really build like a true core audience when it goes this quickly. You know, they'll once the gimmick gets old, that's like 90% of your audience leaving right there, bro.
therefore tried to get him on.
I'm gonna like shoot my shot to Drake. So I was like, when are you gonna come on my podcast?
And he just was
He said,
game right
yeah,
away.
he was ready to do it.
Landing Drake as her 4th ever podcast guest. From an entertainment standpoint, the episode was basically perfect.
This was really weird. Why did they do it in the bed?
Not only had she landed Drake, who never does podcasts, but she'd done so in a funny, intimate setting, whilst keeping it calm and relaxed, to the extent that people thought they were just old friends.
The fact that you were so calm next to Champagne Poppy, because if I was in a
Okay, buddy. Why? I can't. Y'all glazing too much.
bed next to Drake, I would
I would probably, well, maybe before this, but like before this year, I might have like fanned out a little bit for Drake, but like y'all just unironically called him Champagne Poppy. Like, Oh my God.
I'll be freaking out.
Get his wiener out your mouth.
It therefore gained 10 million views in only 2 weeks, and added 700,000 subscribers to Bobby's total count. However, as summarized by a tweet reading, Drake giveth and Drake taketh away.
What is this? Niggas just be saying anything, bro.
Yeah, Bobby's interview with Drake began to ruin her reputation. During the podcast, Bobby had asked,
Am I your type?
I'd do it.
Thank
That's insane.
you.
and when Drake said that Bobby should get with his friend, she seemed kind of interested.
If I could hook you up with anyone, it would be my dog Smigs.
Smigs?
Smigs. Smiley.
Can you tell me about
Smiley?
Smiley?
What? What?
Prada and Gucci don't go together. Louis and Dior, I swear go better.
You're talking about this dude. Wow. Nah, your reputation deserved to have got tarnished from that, bro.
Let me show you a picture of him.
Is he well known, or are you just a friend of yours?
The Funny Marco interview had a similar interaction,
Are you hitting on me?
You're not my type.
What's your type?
with Bobby stating she started the podcast for the following reason.
To have a way to meet people, and the podcast, I was like, I wish I could have collaborate with other people.
Meeting new people likely wasn't sinister, but flirting with famous musicians seemed to annoy her husband, who filed for divorce only 6 days after she recorded
I shouldn't laugh at that, but golly. That man said, enough!
the podcast.
Her husband really said, enough! Like...
With Drake.
God.
To make matters worse, Bobby also admitted
I flew all the way here
You did. I really do appreciate
on my
that.
daughter's first birthday
You missed your daughter's first birthday.
to be here.
Regret that you'll never be able to undo.
Yeah.
Horrible parenting.
showing
Nah, she was getting some penis, bro. There's no way.
she was kind of ditching her family for social media fame.
Is it kind of strange to anyone else that this woman who is married with children is constantly asking during these interviews with these rappers if basically they would go out with her, basically they would sleep with her if they like her?
She'd confirmed the
Yeah, that's so weird.
divorce in a TikTok post, with comments stating celebrity status always ruins the best things in life.
Girl, shut up.
On Reddit, people stated, she got famous and he stayed the same. Few marriages survived that,
That's real.
whilst the rumors likely didn't help. Did Bobby Althoff cheat with Drake quickly became a mainstream narrative.
See, I don't really care enough to write or read an entire article about it. Like, that's something I would think about in passing. Like, as it popped up on my screen, I'd be like, yeah, she probably did. And then I would just keep scrolling. I don't know who can sit here and write an entire web page about it. Like, that's outrageous to me. But
Suggesting a conspiracy was when Bobby deleted the podcast, with Drake and Bobby both unfollowing each other on Instagram.
see, it's the fact that there's people who can notice things like that is outrageous. Like, that's crazy. Who was the first person to notice that? Like, was you just literally checking their following? Like, okay.
Dave Portnoy from Barstool Sports therefore sent her a text. My girlfriend says you hooked up with Drake and got divorced. I am saying that is not true.
Why did you text her that?
Bobby replied, I'm not commenting publicly but off the record. You're right, that is not true. She'd share the text to her story adding, I did not want to do this podcast in the first place, and now so much negativity is coming from it. I'm going to leave it alone after this, but this is the uncensored DM between Dave and I.
That's outrageous, bro.
Although despite denying the rumor,
You said you did not want to do it, but you dipped from your daughter's first birthday to do it. So clearly you must have wanted it. Like, what?
rumors the narrative was set.
What?
Bobby Althoff left her husband to thot around with rappers.
That's crazy.
Would you date someone that looks like me? Because there's just a person
What does that mean?
looks exactly like me. They have a twin.
Maybe.
If I had a twin,
Maybe.
would you date them?
If she was like cool and like,
The damage this did to
Hearing Tyga rap and hearing him speak, he's like two different people. T-Raw, Beanie nigga make mom. Like, he sound completely different.
They have a twin.
Maybe.
If I had a twin,
maybe
would you date them?
if she was like cool and like,
the damage this did to Bobby's image could be seen on her husband's Instagram, with comments reading, sorry that your ex sold you out for clout and fame, after which
Wow.
everything Bobby did became some kind of drama. For example, she'd do a podcast with Little Yachty, with people calling her ungrateful after she said this.
I walked into his house and it
kinda
was
like
super awkward because like
those, though.
he's really kind of awkward. He didn't even like say hi to me. He's just sitting there with like his 2 assistants, and then he comes up, he's like, oh hi, gives me like a half hug, and I'm just like hi, then goes back to his spot, and I'm like, dude, I don't even want to do this. I'm texting my friend like, Ashley,
Yeah, okay, yeah, you sounded aggravating. I ain't gonna lie. Like, bro, please. Oh my God. How do y'all just listen to her podcast?
I need to leave. This is so awkward. I don't want it. Like, what am I doing here?
She wants to make awkward content and then puts Yachty on blast.
For being awkward. That's outrageous.
Shaking my head. Gave her a platform and now she's shitting on y'all. See what happens? People then claimed that her fast rise to fame was orchestrated by her management company,
I'm pretty sure somebody at WME started help pulling the strings to set all this in motion.
who also
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised by that. I don't have no proof of it. And I'm not going to outright, like, state that outright as if it's a fact. But, like, if you ask me my personal opinion, I could believe she's a plant of some sort.
managed some of the people who appeared on Bobby's show.
Same management as Drake.
You got a great agent, and you got a great agency, and you got great guests.
Can you, please, Mark, put some shoes on?
Bobby simply trolled the claims, but there were other inconsistencies.
Celebrating because the industry planted me.
Agency, and you got great guests.
Bobby simply trolled the claims, but there were other inconsistencies. For example,
Her face low-key annoys me.
she constantly claimed that she was broke
People think I'm joking about being in debt. I'm not. Like, I put every penny I had into this podcast.
and told Mark Cuban this.
I don't have any money
None?
at all. I have debt, actually.
You have debt? How much debt do you have?
Like $20,000 of debt.
Then further added in her Rick Glassman podcast.
Every time a credit card maxes out, I have to switch to another. I have like
Is she really, like, that badly in debt? I mean, if she's that bad in debt, I can see why she might have forced herself to fly out to go see Drake. But, like, how much in debt are you? Like, the podcast got 10 mil on YouTube. That's some good money.
like 2 cards maxed out right now, so hoping to pay them off soon.
However, people realized she spent $500 on Chloe sandals. She is not broke, she is broken.
Wow.
Also noting that her husband was a millionaire.
What?
Who had 170,000 students who'd bought his $43 course.
What?
Eventually, Bobby also revealed that the podcast wasn't serious.
So when you interview these people, you're not Bobby necessarily.
No, yeah, I'm just like a really dry person.
Deleting more of the magic that first made her interesting.
Yeah, you're talking too much. That's what SunnyV2 was trying to say. She was talking too much. She should have just kept it dry and just had people not know nothing about her, kept it low key, and only pop out for the podcast.
We mentioned that when she first interviewed Marco, there were no negative comments. However, 3 months later when Reddit asked thoughts on Bobby Althoff, there wasn't a single positive comment. Annoying ASF and not funny at all. I can't stand her, don't find her funny, and find it odd that rappers are always her target to pick on like she's better than them. Gives me the ick.
Gives me the ick. I don't know. Like I said, I never liked it.
I watched a few of her interviews. I just don't find her funny or charismatic enough to pull off the shtick. I can see why she's popular though. This kind of awkward cringe humor is having a moment. Only 4 days after that Reddit thread.
Okay, who drew this? Drake does not look like that. Who drew this? Somebody needs... You about to get DMCA'd just for this, bro. That's outrageous.
It was reviewed as the not so really good podcast, which stated the content itself is boring. The episodes also lack direction and a central theme, probably because they only consist of small talk. The podcast fails to deliver anything substantial or thought-provoking.
Not every podcast needs to have like the most deep and culturally impactful statement. I don't. Come on, what kind of like criticism is that? The podcast doesn't have anything substantial or thought provoking. It can just be stupid just for the sake of being stupid. You know, I don't think it's entertaining, but if that's what they were going for, that's what they were going for.
Instead, it provides a glimpse into how celebrities behave in casual settings, which may seem intriguing to some, but ultimately failed to engage me. Another person said,
"Wow, cool," because we asked.
That Bobby's podcast.
I don't even like the podcast, but I don't know. It's just something about that article just pissed me off.
Sadly points out how real
I don't find these types of interviews particularly enjoyable or interesting. Instead, it just sadly points out how real hip-hop journalism has been practically erased.
Hip-hop journalism has been practically erased.
Some of the media teams behind these artists aren't interested in them sitting down with credible people who know how to tell stories and do quality interviews. Then they wonder why an artist's real story goes untold, neglected, or that the artist is misunderstood.
While even Funny Marco began to critique her show.
With me, it was like, I think you're funny, Marco, but let me learn about you. Like, trying to figure me out. But now it's like the interviews, I think they're like, she's trying to shit on people. And then when I watched the interview with Offset, I was like, damn, that was pretty bad.
As mentioned,
oh yeah, because Offset clowned her. She was trying to clown on him, and he flipped it back on her.
She was plain disrespectful during her podcast with Offset, leading him to respond with similar energy.
You need a little bit of seasoning. You ain't got no seasoning, man. You like a plain piece of chicken, just on the thing, pull it off. And then you serve the dish.
It seemed this was where many people
versus that Offset interview, she just disappeared.
Quit watching Bobby's show, aided by full podcast episodes that were just promoting products. In the process, she'd also change her appearance, leading to criticism.
Too much filler, Bobby. Oh, bro.
Bad enough for Bobby to respond.
Oh, brother.
I am so tired of all of the comments of people saying she ruined her face. The only thing I have done to my face is that I have a little bit of filler in my upper lip, okay? I do not have cheek filler.
In a different video, she talked about getting other procedures.
I went in to get my zit injected and I left with Botox in my forehead, which, you know, that's fine. That's not
she got a black eye?
Normal. I had lines here. I also didn't.
I actually don't care. Like, I'm gonna just be real honest. I'm not saying nothing because I don't really care. Like, if people want to get plastic surgery, it's okay. Like, I really don't care, you know.
Like that.
Ain't got nothing to do with me.
This would crease so much and I'd smile. So I got under eye filler. So I got Botox.
Oh, that's why they're bruised.
Botox injected right here.
Which perhaps unfairly has only led to even more hate. Her 15 minutes are up. Bye, Bobby. I am so tired of Bobby. Get off the internet, boring.
People are dickheads sometimes, bro.
The last couple of months, however, have been even worse. For starters, the style of the podcast has changed. The dry, sarcastic humor has become normal conversation, and all the awkward, quiet moments are often removed in editing.
Oh, wow.
Strangely, however, this only makes
Who are these people?
Makes it even more awkward and less entertaining, as it feels like any other normal podcast.
That JoJo?
How old are you?
Me, I'm 21.
You're 21?
Yeah.
Oh, you're so young.
I'm a baby still.
Wait, I didn't realize you were so young. I thought we were the same age. Now I feel really old.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
You're not really old.
This entire
okay.
interview feels like they are making small talk while waiting for something. She'd also do an episode with Dax Flame, in which she was way ruder than any other podcast.
What is something fun that makes interviewing someone fun for you?
Just having good conversation.
Okay, yeah, I love good conversation.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't tell.
This genuinely was not even an
Dax looked like he's sick of her, bro. Dax looks like he's legitimately tired of her, bro. Like, he is so over this. He's literally like he about to cry. He's bored to tears.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't tell.
This genuinely was not even an interview. This was like bullying the nice kid and making him feel horrible in any way.
That's insane, bro. To look, Dax Flame don't even be doing nothing to nobody.
Then 2 months ago, she did this video here, which, judging by the dislike ratio, was yet another doozy.
You talking about the dislike ratio? I'm talking about the views. Look at that. Don't nobody care. That's insane.
She did this video here, which, judging by the dislike ratio, was yet another doozy.
And then I saw this video of a girl talking about how much she made from her podcast, and I mentally decided that she made like at least $300 a year on her podcast alone, and I was like, that's what I need to do next. Like, I need a podcast.
I saw how much someone made and thought, that's what I need to do. Wow, what a passionate and inspiring individual.
Yeah.
Toward the start of
For real.
Her career, Bobby joked, "Not more money though, and that's all that matters in the world," but it seems that's now her actual philosophy.
I didn't grow up with money. I am on a lifelong journey to get money. I love money's nice. It's amazing.
Ever since doing the
brother.
interview, Bobby's viewership has significantly slowed.
See, that's the issue. She talked too much. She need to stop doing these interviews because she seems like she's just an unlikable person in general, and she's constant like. When it comes to podcasting, the only thing you have is your personality. If people don't like you as a person, they're not gonna sit here and listen to you babble for an hour and change. Bro, what? That's crazy.
Her reputation is far.
You're not even interesting enough to get away with being a douche. That's the crazy part. Like if you were really interesting and entertaining, you could get away with being like all about the money and being a dickhead. But you're boring and you're dry and you're awkward on purpose. And nobody, what? Come on, bro.
Far from perfect, whilst her interview style has simply gone stale. Bobby.
Stale. Missing the kid's first birthday party interview in bed and Drake is wild work, bro. That is Austin. That's like audaciously outrageous work, bro. Like that's insane. I didn't know she did that. Like that's. Yeah, there's a I got sometimes, bro, I be having good reads on people. I already knew she wasn't worth it, bro. Goodness gracious.